everyone. Are you wearing your microphone?
Nope.
I am. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games
and
board gamey things.
Exactly. We're here today with another playthrough video, and today's playthrough is going to be on Darkleaf Gambit from Only Then Studios, who very kindly sponsored today's video. Now we have covered Only Then Studios' first game called Wicked Cribbage, which we think is pretty wicked. Basically what they're doing is they're putting like a fun spin on,
I really like it.
On classics, like using the components of a classic, I guess. So Darkleaf Gambit is their newest game. We're going to have all the links, everything that you need to know for the Kickstarter in the description below. So if you watch this, you're like, heck yeah, that looks super fun. Well, you'll know exactly where to get it, okay? Now, this is a game, Jeff is going to do an overview, but just so everybody knows, this is a 1v1 game, so it's 2-player only.
Correct.
Using asymmetrical characters. And Jeff and I each have our own goal, and we're just fighting it out to see who is victorious. And we just played.
Yeah. Should mention,
I was victorious.
It does require you to have a chessboard and chess pieces.
Exactly, yes. So you do need to already have a chessboard. Chess piece doesn't come with it. As per usual with our playthrough videos, we are going to give you a little overview of how the game works. We're not going to go into a full how to play, and we'll explain things as we do them. But I say, without further ado, let's dive into a little Darkleaf Gambit so that I can kick Jeff's butt yet again. Excuse me, Jeff. We're just going to put that back there, even though you're blocking it.
This does not require you to know chess.
Which is good, because I don't.
I would say that it just helps slightly to understand what the pieces are for setup. But I don't even think you need to worry about that because there's lots of iconography and stuff. But if you have a little bit of knowledge of chess, it's probably going to help just a little bit.
Well, didn't help you earlier. And I also
Gamey is being a very feisty individual today.
I forgot to mention this is a prototype. So everything you see is subject to change as per usual with prototypes. So this is not a final copy of the game. Jeffrey?
Yes.
How does it work?
We are asymmetrical factions trying to achieve each individual objective. So, for example, I am playing as the ferryman, and my objective is to flow the rival royal twice into the void. So, the void is off of the board. So, maybe I'll start by explaining what we are in. We are playing in Hagedorn's forest, and the forest area of the board is every region outside of the row and column, or I guess row, that would normally be closest to us. It's a bit weird because normally you'd be sitting across from each other playing this game, but unfortunately when we film we have to be next to each other.
Just pretend that
So just
I'm like
pretend
this.
we're sitting like this. Yes. So the forest is these rows and columns that are next to and in between each of our starting regions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The regions closest to us on our respective side are called our seats. So this row is my seat.
This one's mine.
And that is Jamie's seat. Also, alternatively, this is my range, which would be Jamie's seat, my range. This is my seat and Jamie's range.
Correct.
And everything in between is the forest.
Yeah.
And then everything outside is called the void. Again, my objective is to flow rival royal twice into the void. So essentially what I need to do, when they say royal, that means your queen or king. So my faction utilizes the king pawn. Jamie's faction utilizes the queen pawn.
Queen.
I am playing as the ferryman. Jamie's playing as the huldra. So essentially what I'm trying to do is push Jamie's royal off of the board. Twice.
Mine is to hunt the rival royal 3 times. This is where the asymmetry comes in. Like, I have a hunt action that Jeff wouldn't have. He has flow, basically. So I have to kill the king 3 times in order to win.
Yep. So what we will be doing is going back and forth, taking actions in order to achieve those objectives.
Yep.
And there's going to be a sequence of play, which I'll go over now. So during the upkeep phase, there's things you may do. You don't have to do. You can skip the entire upkeep phase if you want. There are certain factions that will have delayed activations that will occur. So the first thing you would do during your upkeep phase is move those triggers down to activate any ongoing abilities that have a activation tracker on it.
Neither of ours have that.
Neither of our factions have that, just FYI. The other thing that you can do, you can spend relic tokens if you have them. So you'll notice here, and I'll explain how this works in a minute. But basically what you need to know in this upkeep phase is you can spend tokens in order to activate relics if you have them. Okay?
Relic. Spend relic.
The last thing you can do, you'll note we each have a Hagdorn's Will token here. We can choose to, one time during the game, activate Hagdorn's Will. So that is this board here, and we have a D12 that if you activate that, you're going to roll, and depending on what you roll, you're going to activate that ability on the player aid. What I'll say is each side has alternate options. So before the game starts, you can choose to play with the curses option or the blessings option. Blessings is favorable to each character. Curses is not so favorable to each character. So we are going to be playing with the curses side because we like a little meanness in our game.
Like a little spice.
But if you don't like meanness, you can play the blessing side. Works the same way. You roll the D12 and do what the actions state. The second phase is the bulk of what you're choosing to do. So you're going to be declaring intent. And each faction is going to do this somewhat differently. But just so you know how it works, ultimately you're going to be choosing whether or not you're going to be journeying or if you're going to choose your deed.
Correct.
And you'll see how each of us differentiate that during the game when we get there.
Ours are very different.
So again, just remember, you either journey, which means to move, or deed, which is an action.
It's like your special
It's like your
thing
special
that you can do.
Ability.
Yep.
I do not have a deed action. My faction does not have a deed action. Jamie's does.
Jeff's is wrapped up into his journey.
My deed action is wrapped up into my journey, which we'll get to when we play. After we've decided our intent, we are going to take one of our bones, which are dice,
Dem bones,
and we are going to roll. So if it's my turn and I've decided to journey, I'm going to roll my dice. I now can journey for 2 spaces.
Yeah.
Now, it is very important to note that it is exactly what is specified on the dice unless you have an ability or a faction that changes that ruling. So in this instance, I have to journey 2.
Yeah.
Exactly 2. If I can't with any of my characters, I cannot journey.
Yeah.
And my turn is forfeited. Similarly with deed, you have to do the deed in the range of exactly what your dice states. So Jamie, if you haven't figured it out yet, has a range character. So if she does her hunt deed, which is her deed, she has to hunt 2 spaces away from her.
Yeah.
She cannot change that unless she has an ability that allows her to do so.
Right.
Okay? After you've done the action, what you're then going to do is slot these bones into your player board. So you'll see here there's a bunch of different numbers. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, E, O, some, and 9, 12. I'll explain what all this means. 2, 3, 4, 5 means you have to place that exact number in that slot. Okay? E is even numbers. O is odd numbers.
Yeah.
Some, this means between 9 and 12.
And I have some less than or greater than a certain
What that means is, in each instance, the sum of these 3 or these 2 dice has to equal what is stated here. So how you would read this is the sum of these 3 dice needs to be between 9 and 12.
Yep. So
that means the 3 dice that are in here need to be, for me, between 9 and 12 in order to activate the ability. Similarly with Samey's sum of these 2 dice needs to be greater than 6. The sum of these 2 dice needs to be less than 3 in order to activate the ability.
But why are we placing bones?
Yeah, why are we placing bones? Well, because we want to trigger these abilities. So, relics, as mentioned, are things you will be able to activate during the upkeep phase. All of these things kind of break the rules of the game or give you a benefit. You know? So you'll see how these all work when we play, but just know relics, miracles, and laws break the rules to some
And
degree.
auras.
And each character is going to have different things. Like Jamie has an aura, I don't. And the difference of these things is basically when they trigger. So relics will be triggered during the upkeep phase if you choose to spend the token.
Yeah.
Miracles happen as soon as it is filled. Laws change the rules for your faction for the remainder of the game. When you trigger an ability, those bones are going to be taken out and added back to your pool. And you'll see why that's important, because you're always going to have to be able to roll a dice.
Yeah.
The final phase is to acquire the powers as stated. So again, when these things are triggered in the final, or in the previous round, in the final round is when you're going to actually activate them.
And some of them have timing, like
Yes.
depending on your character.
And again, some of them will have timing mechanisms, that sort of thing. So those are the actions that we'll be doing back and forth. And this game is very snappy.
Yeah.
It seems like a
Meant to be
lot,
quick.
but it is not. Because a lot of the time, the upkeep phase is going to be
I'm not doing anything.
completely ignored, and then you're just doing actions back and forth.
Yep.
Okay, so the only other thing I think on the player board I'll get to are these tokens. So these are tokens that might be impacted by doing your actions on your board. So for example, you'll see I have here Royal Flow. That's actually my objective against Jamie.
Yeah.
So when I flow a character off, a normal character, not the royal, they're going to go to Jamie's graveyard. And the graveyard's technically combined, but we've separated them. So anytime you vanquish or remove a character, it's going to go to their graveyard. Some abilities or factions might allow you to pull back from the graveyard, but in most cases when it's in the graveyard, it's gone from the game. Yeah. That being said, the royals cannot actually go into the graveyard because they need to stay on the board in order to be triggered multiple times in order to achieve your end goal. So where this says Royal Flow, anytime I flow Jamie's royal off the board, I'm going to actually just add one of these tokens underneath her royal.
Yeah.
When I have when I have two, I will win the game. So these tokens are not specific to a character or ability.
We just picked them.
You just pick the colors you want, and this is to signify that if this is out on the board, this is what it's referencing.
Yeah.
These abilities for my character trigger when certain things happen, and that's when I was specifying the range in the seat, why that matters. I'm a ferryman.
Yeah.
That means I am ferrying across this board. This is where a little bit of the thematic asymmetry comes into place. A lot of my characters can only ever move forward. So you'll notice that on these boards, it's going to specify which characters are able to move in which direction and what their ability is. My characters are going to keep moving along this board. When my pawns or sages, which are the bishops, get to the range, which is again Jamie's seat, I actually can flow off of the board and back to my seat. And when I do that, I get to add these abilities to those characters, and they do certain things. Like Barbaric, for example, allows me to push someone 2 spaces away instead of 1. Ripple Effect lets me push 2 characters instead of just once ahead. So I'm trying to get to the end of the board and then ferry myself back to upgrade my characters to keep flowing forward and eventually push Jamie off the board.
Yeah.
Okay? So you would just add these to the characters that have applied that ability to it.
Yeah, and mine are related to my skills that I unlock, so it's a little bit different. So if I fill these, I can assign one of my longbows to a pawn, which basically gives them extra range when they're attacking or they're hunting. Pivot is the other one, that's this red one, which basically allows me to put them under a sage, which Jeff mentioned is what you would consider a bishop in chess. And then they get to use some of their movement for journeying, and then whatever's left over they can hunt with.
Yep.
So they kind of double up. And then these are for when I kill the king.
Right.
Pop, pop.
The movement of each pawn, sage, knight, rook, and king is different per faction.
Yep.
Okay. So as stated, mine's very thematic to the ferryman. My pawns and sages can only move forward or sideways, not backwards. The sages can move through my units, which is normally not allowed. So movement technically will end at the end of when you hit a unit, except my sages can move through my own units. Knights can move anywhere. They don't really have any special abilities other than the fact that they can move in any direction they want to. My rooks are invulnerable, so that means they actually can't be vanquished. They cannot be removed from the board. And they can move in any direction. And then the king has a belay action, and that means whenever I move, when I finish my movement, if there is a ferryman unit next to the king, I can move it. So, for example, just to show you, if I had moved my king here, I can move any of these units somewhere else adjacent to my king. So it allows me to kind of manipulate my people around the king, maybe to protect. My rooks and kings, when they end their movement, I can't flow or push Jamie. The only characters I have that are able to push Jamie are my pawns, sages, and knights.
Yes. So for me, my pawns can move in any direction, but they can only hunt, which is my attack, straight or to the sides, not diagonally. My sages can also move in any direction, but they can only hunt diagonally. My knight can move in any direction, they can hunt in any direction, and they have what's called an arc shot, so they can their hunt may pass over obstructing pawns.
Jamie needs line of sight for most of her characters.
My rook is also invulnerable, so it can't be hit. Our rooks are essentially like our little protectors, but they can journey in any direction, and they don't have to move exact amounts, so they can move up to or equal to, but they can't hunt. So they can't hunt. My queen can't move at all. She can hunt straight and to the sides, and then she can also leap. So when she's not adjacent to a Haldra rook, so like right now, she's not adjacent to my rook, she may relocate to a territory neighboring the rook and may activate with any roll value. So right now, I could transport her basically over here.
Cool. I think that's pretty much it.
The only other thing is because I have a special thing that Jeff doesn't have, my clan trait, which is that, as Jeff mentioned earlier, you have to declare what you're going to be doing. I get to roll first and then decide.
Normally, it would be the opposite. Normally, you have to declare and then roll. Jamie can roll, then choose what she wants to do based off of her job result.
And I get to decide between journey, deed, or leap, which is my queen's ability.
There's actually a table of which to identify who is in first player. So Hexen, not in play.
Oh, here, I'll show you them whilst...
Sure. So Hexen would technically go first if they were in the game.
Not in play.
Wildero Wibbo would be next if they were in the game.
The shrooms.
Yep. The Merg would be next.
Robot.
The Ferryman, which is me, so I will be going first. Then it would be the Erde, and then it would be Jamie, the Haldra. Exactly. So I will be first because I'm higher in that player order.
Yeah, I just want to show, like I just showed you, there are other factions, and if you are curious to see how some of the other factions work, please go check out our Brothers from Another Mother, Nick and Mike over at the Brothers Mirth, because they played with the Merg and Erde. So if you'd like to see how those work, all have like some how to play and a little story on the back. So if you're curious.
Phase 1 is upkeep. I'm going to check my board. There's nothing I can do. I do not want to activate Hagedorn's Will currently, so I'm going to proceed right into my intent. And again, if you remember, I don't have a deed. I just journey and push things around.
Jeff's always doing the deed.
I'm going to roll. I got a 4. Okay. When I flow and push Jamie around, I either have to land in front of them to push them one away.
Yeah, or on top.
In the direction of which I have journeyed.
Yeah.
Or if I land on top of them, I can push them in any direction.
Right.
Okay? 4's not great to start. Really?
Well.
But I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then...
I'm in the void. Into the unknown.
Okay, and then I would slot my bone, which I'm going to slot... I'm going to do Master the Current. Okay, and then I can acquire power if I had any of these activated. I don't, so we're proceeding to Jamie.
Yep, so I'm not doing any of the upkeep stuff. It's too soon. So I'll roll first. Pachow. I got a 3. It's going to be a little bit also hard to see what I roll because of their triangles, but I got a 3. And so I actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a deed, and I will hunt, and I'm going to 1, 2, hunt, munch that pawn, get that garbage out of here, and I am going to put this in here, and that's it.
I'm skipping the upkeep. I'm going to go straight to my declare intent. I am journeying.
Whoop.
And then rolling a 4, apparently.
Just popped right out there.
Yep.
It's funny.
I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to push Jamie 1.
Mm.
And then I'll slot this into Eddie.
Eddie.
And if you remember, E's are even.
E's are even. I will not be doing any upkeep. A 2. Spicy. Okay, I will go 2. Boop. Boop. Put it here. 2 in the tweak. In the twerk.
I'm also going to skip upkeep.
You're combining a lot of words today.
I know. I'm actually going to go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then that will be it.
Okay. Slaughtered.
I'm gonna... Oh, I want you don't have to start. You can place these in any order you so choose.
Yep. I'm not upkeeping a 1. Right. Oh. I'll hunt.
Yeah, that sucks.
I munched you first.
That sucks a lot.
Oh, I'll slot this in here. Yep.
You know what?
Haldera! Wait. Hagridorn.
I'm gonna activate.
Why did I say Haldera? What is Haldera?
Hagridorn's will.
Hagridorn.
I'm gonna roll.
I'm excited.
Alright, we got 3. So, only units on white territories can journey for the next 3 rounds.
So we'll put maybe counters here.
Sure.
Actually, you know what, Jeff? I'm going to put them here because I will
Well, I mean, we could just knock the die down 1 each time if you wanted to.
Good idea. Will you remember? Should I put it here?
Sure. So only units on white territories can journey. Woof. Okay.
Wowie.
That's actually pretty good for me because most of mine are on white.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm going to roll.
Whoa.
I got a 1. That sucks. Ah! 1. Okay, and then I'm going to slot this in odd.
Very odd. I will not be activating anything.
Yeah, so when it gets back to me, we'll knock that down. So remember, anything on white.
Yeah. Okay. But that's for journeying, not for deeds. Okay. Well, a 3. I'll go 1. Whoa, Bessie, where do you think you're going? You can't do that. Sugar.
Honey, honey, you are my candy girl.
I guess I'll do 1, 2, 3. So now I get a longbow, and I will give my longbow to this pawn. And just so I'll read it to everyone. A pawn may hunt with +1 range and diagonally now. Okay, so he's basically unstoppable.
Yep. Okay, so we need to knock this down 1. Apply. It still applies. Oops, why did I grab 2?
Yeah, roll them all.
We get a 5.
And they have to be white.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll push you into the void. You are gone.
6.
And then I will trigger Master the Current, which is a miracle, so it's going to trigger immediately. Flow any 2 pawns in Hagridorn territory, so anywhere in the middle. This is where that stuff becomes important. Flow any 2 pawns in Hagridorn, 1 territory in the same direction.
Yes. Whew. So he could do 2 of his own, 1 of each, 2 of mine. That makes sense. That sucks. Oh no.
Oh, I can't do that. That's a lie.
What?
In Hagridorn's territory.
Yeah. Girl, that's my seat. I'm sitting.
Okay, I'll do this one.
Yeah. You could do one of your own too if you like.
Yeah, I know I could.
Any 2.
And then this one. Okay. And then these come off because it's been activated. Goodness.
That's the truth. Here we go. A 4. But it's still white.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Prepping for my miracle.
Okay.
Miracles happen.
So last round we have to deal with that curse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll.
Who chose curses? We could have had something nice.
Got a 2. 2.
R.I.P.
And I'll do this. So I've unlocked my Unrelenting Tide relic.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll, I think. Beep. A 3. I wish I could punch your rook in the face.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Killed your horse. Sorry about it. Okay, so I'll do this, which is going to allow me to tweak, not twerk, just FYI, which gives me my relic, and just so everybody knows, now I can spend this after rolling to re-roll 1 bone.
It's back to me. This is gone now, so that is no longer active. I'm deciding whether or not I want to activate Unrelenting Tide, and that allows me to flow Jamie's Royal in one direction until I meet an edge or an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, in this instance, the only thing I could possibly do is move it here. And I'm trying to determine if that is worthwhile for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think it might not be right now. So I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to roll. All right, we got 2. So I'm actually going to move through 1, 2, which then gives him either Barbaric or Ripple. I'm going to give it Barbaric.
Barbaric little pawn.
That lets me move
2?
a unit 2 spaces instead of 1. So I will just note, I couldn't have done that if there was an obstacle here.
Yeah.
So I still have to apply that movement rule
Yeah.
even when I'm coming back through.
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm going to slot the 2 here.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go. I don't think I'm going to do the curse yet. A 2. Ugh! I wish I could move through my stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that I can't.
It's true.
Let's go 2.
Okay.
And I'll do this, which is going to give me pivot. And pivot, I put underneath a sage. So I only have 1 sage, so it's going to have to go under this one. Okay, and my sage may end a journey early and apply the remaining roll value to a hunt. Direction of hunt can be different from the journey.
Yeah, that sucks.
For you.
I'm actually going to activate my Unrelenting Tide relic, and I'm going to move Jamie here. So again, she flows until she hits an obstacle, which is my sage. And then I'm going to roll. I wish I was in front of you. I am not.
That barbarian up here.
Yeah, I would love to if that had been a 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can attack sideways and forward, not diagonally, right?
My
Except for
sage can attack diagonally. And
I will move this pawn 1.
Got it.
And then I'm going to apply the die here.
Cool.
Can you do it yet?
Maybe next time. We'll watch this, Jeff. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to leap. Whee!
That's annoying.
Oh, look at this! A miracle! I got a 1, by the way, but it doesn't matter because I activated my leap, my Dua Lipa, and I now have Renewal Miracle. Remove 1 slotted bone from a rival's clan board. What do they do?
Okay, so Eddie...
Swap locations.
Swaps locations, yep. Big Wave.
Yep.
All adjacent rival units 1 territory away from the unit that just journeyed. So it basically lands and then goes, and a wave pushes everyone around it.
Yeah, let's just
away.
get rid of that.
Yeah, that's the good, that's the smart decision.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to skip upkeep. I'm going to roll. Oh, that's what I needed last time.
Yeah, but even better, you gotta win your 40.
That was good. That was good. Okay, well, I think the only option here... my sages can move through my characters. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so it has triggered its ferryman ability. And I'm going to give it barbaric as well.
A bunch of barbaric ferrymen out on the board. I'm going to do... sorry, you going to...
Yeah, I'm going to actually apply Eddie. And then I'm going to swap locations of one ferryman pawn with one rival pawn.
You can't move backwards. That was annoying for me. Okay.
Oh, and then these are out.
Will be enacting Hagedorn's will. Oh, what's that for? Take a pill? It's too early to take pills.
No, that was a nap. That was a nap alarm.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we are seeing what curse we get. 7. Bones cannot be slotted for 3 rounds.
Spicy. So just put a 3 there. Yeah.
3, and then I'll just put a little cube at 7.
Yikes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I still get my turn, though. And I still have my relic, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really annoying that you moved your little friggin' queen all the way over there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I am going to journey, but with my sage.
Sure. Oh, how? You can't.
Why not?
Because you have to move 4, unless you have the ability.
No,
to
remember, he's pivot. He's got pivot, so I can use the rest for an attack.
Right.
So if I do that though, then he's got 3, so I could crush that guy's little baby soul. Little dumb baby soul. Pop.
Okay. Can't slot.
Right. Brutal.
All right, back to me.
Yeah.
Skipping upkeep. Rolling. Okay. That's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, but he don't come off.
No. But you need one of your
yours.
thingies. Oh no! Can he do that? No, I can't do that. That wasn't allowed.
Wow.
It's per direction of journey. Just the move. And then no slot. So then we're back to this, and we're down to 2.
Yeah. Brutal. Bring a 3.
Jamie loves rolling a cocked die and not re-rolling it. She just puts it up. You did it last night with Rodney and Chrissy too, and I think Rodney was like,
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So, here's what I'll do. 1, 2. Punch, yeah.
That's stupid.
Oh, can't slot them. Did you slot yours?
No.
No.
All right, upkeep.
Okay, so this...
1.
Jeez, I couldn't find the 1.
That's a roll.
I'll re-roll. I'll use my roll. Oh, this happened last game too.
That's actually perfect, because I'm 1 away from you.
Oh yeah, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Going on about it. All right, so that wasn't slotted. That was my last roll. Back to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just funny, because like that's now the second time that I've done that with my relic.
I'm going to actually go 1, 2. And this now moves 2 away.
Yeah. Did you land on it or in front of it?
On it, so I can do any direction.
Yeah. Okay, so this is gone.
Yep.
We may now...
Slot.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, you got me.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of that guy, but you got the pawn that was sitting there.
Oh, I know it. Guess I'll put this here.
Okay, no upkeep.
Who's gonna keep pushing my little baby around? My little baby pawn. Miracles happen once in a while. Ooh, big strong man. Me?
Yep.
Okay, I think I need to reroll.
Yeah, I don't know which one
that was. Okay, a 3. That's funny.
So you might be like, well, that's why Jamie said that's annoying. So these are the invulnerable characters.
Yeah.
So I blocked Jamie from being able to keep hitting my royal.
Correct.
From there, anyway, she could always move, but... Me?
Yeah.
5. I mean... Is it?
You're lucky.
Were you hoping for a 1?
Yeah. But I'll journey.
Can those ones hunt?
What do you mean?
I thought those ones couldn't move diagonally. Oh, they can.
Yeah, mine can move wherever the hell they
Can
want.
this one hunt?
Oh, yeah.
They all can hunt?
It's the rooks can't. And,
Okay.
Yeah, but the queen can.
Got it. All right,
Oh,
me?
I gotta wait. Beep. And then I'll get a relic.
Okay, me?
Yeah.
All right, no upkeep. 2.
Oh, bloody. Oh, blada. Life goes on. Ah. Oh, desk.
That, like, quite literally is the worst possible roll I could have had.
Yeah. Ain't that always the way?
Because, like, I can't push you here because I can't push you too.
Yeah. Dang. May as well make another barbarian while you're at it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I probably should have one with this ripple effect. I think that was an oversight. Because then I could push 2 characters.
I think I'm going to use this and reroll. I swear to God, if I reroll it as a 3. A 4?
Even worse. Yeah, you need small numbers now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill the heck out of that.
Why?
I'm gonna.
You can't go backwards.
Some of my characters can. Me?
Wait. You. A 3. Womp womp.
Interesting. God, the rooks can't flow.
The rooks have no flow. They have no chill. They also don't hunt. But you know what, Jeff? They don't die either.
Okay, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna give him Rippling Tide. And then I'll slot this, and then get the Unrelenting Tide relic.
See what happens. A 3. That sucks. Not at all what I wanted.
I need to deal with your friggin' ding-dongs around my royal, and I can't!
Huh. I'll journey. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna give you the keys. Okay, so this has to be greater than or equal to 6. So we'll do that. Why not? Why not, Jeff? You know? You're up.
Yep. I'm gonna trigger Unrelenting Tide and move here.
You moved mother.
I did. How do I keep rolling these freaking 2s?
Jacob Tutu. You guys remember that book? Jacob Tutu. Remember Jacob Tutu?
I'm trying.
You're thinking.
I'm trying to do stuff.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm gonna go 1, 2.
Welcome to my shoe. Get them out of here.
Gone. Yeah. Yeah. So you need how many? 3?
Yep.
So you just need 1 more? God, I gotta get rid of them. Okay. Me?
Yes. Correct.
Big move for me. I think Jamie's got me, but I'm gonna do it just for the sake of at least getting 1 of these tokens out. So I got a 3. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. And slot it in Big Wave, which is a miracle, and so it happens immediately. Flow all adjacent rivals 1 territory away from the unit that just journeyed. Beep. So you're going to take 1 there.
Yeah.
And I did it. I got 1. So big wave's gone. All you need is a 1 or a 2. Damn it.
Killed your king.
Jamie wins. I needed 1 more, right? I only need to do it twice.
1 more.
Ah!
But if I didn't get a 1 or a 2, whatever else I got, I was going over here.
Oh. Yeah, fair.
Because that's my queen special thing. Because you pushed me
Last
away
game
from
this
the rock.
happened too. It was like kind of came down to...
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, my friends, is Darkleaf Gambit.
I couldn't get rid of your ding-dongs in there.
The ding-dong.
I didn't have... Because I can only basically... It's funny, the more you play it, I think you identify the strengths and weaknesses of your factions. And so, like, not having anyone back here,
yeah,
I couldn't get you out.
Right.
Because, like, only my rook could move that way, but he can't flow anyone out.
Yeah. Also, nobody said we were great at... I mean, I'm great at this game. Nobody said, though, that we were experts. Except for me. Because I never lost at it, basically. But my friends, that's Darkleaf Gambit from Only Then Studios. Links and everything are going to be in the description below. And like I mentioned before, if you would like to see how a couple of the other factions play, please check out our friends Nick and Mike's video, because they play a couple other factions. But if you're interested, definitely give her a back. And you know what? Sometimes in life, you just got to be a winner.
Nice.
And the thing is about it all that thank God you don't need to know anything about chess. Because I do not. And Jeff does.
Yeah, that's true.
Perhaps it doesn't help you at all.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
I don't know what she's talking
Who's
about.
to say? Anyways, that is everything that we have for today's video. Now, if you're interested in buying board games, ones that are currently available, remember we're going to Kickstarter for this one, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is...
The Boardroom Game Cafe.
Heck yeah, it is. If you like what you see,
Please subscribe.
we hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
There it is.
Perhaps we are not in the refrigerator. Terminator. God, I hate being upside down. Ugh. Okay, so as per usual, their play. Wow, that was a run-on sentence.
No, I would get to pick curses or blessings.
Yeah, which you
but
did.
I choose cursing.
Yeah,
Curses.
you may try, but you will not succeed.
Any flow any 2 pawns in Hagridorn's in. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
What does your relic do again? Never mind, I have it here. Slide rival rolling. Oh my god, no, I can't talk either.
Oh, stop it.